Welcome to the MLM Success Coaches Expert Interview Series, your ultimate resource for network marketing, blogging, and social media tips. If you have a question, we got an answer. And now, your host, Ian Beatty.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of MLM Success Coaches. I'm your host, Ian Beatty. We're on episode number 5, and today I have joining with me Mr. Ray Higdon. How you doing, Ray?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Cool. Thanks for coming on the show. You can find Ray Higdon over at rayhigdon.com. He's the #1 income earner for his company, so we have a treat today. Ray, tell us a little bit about your background and how you got started in network marketing.
Sure. I actually got started back in 2006. I had a buddy. I was a real estate investor, and I had a friend of mine who was a partner with me, actually introduced me to the industry. And I like I got into real estate for cash flow and buying rental properties and things like that. So I like that model. I like the low risk, low overhead model. Didn't really know how to do it, so I did everything wrong, basically. And about 11 companies later, I finally found, the company that I'm currently with, and it worked out. So I'm yet another poster child of, the first one didn't work out, and that is most people's experience.
Right. So you say you're a real estate investor before you started network marketing. What made you get out of real estate?
From 2004 to, I guess, about 2008, I was a real estate investor. So I bought rental properties, was flipping homes, doing all that. And, when the market changed, I just didn't adapt quickly enough. So I got caught, pretty heavy-handed. And 8 foreclosures later, I was looking for another industry. And, I always liked network marketing, and I just never really found a fit for me. And, it just, I'm actually very glad that it happened, especially at my age where I could bounce back. And I just got focused on network marketing, and it really made me understand, from going to the top in a corporate America, from having a franchise, from having my own business, from being in real estate, that network marketing is the model that I just think is the best and the easiest way to really engineer your lifestyle.
Right. We got something that's similar in common there. I've always loved network marketing myself. I've failed at a lot of businesses, at a lot of different network marketing opportunities. I haven't quite found my one yet like you have, but I had rental properties, and around that same time, around 2008, me and my father, we lost about 5 properties to foreclosure. So it's a weird feeling. It's really like a feeling of desperation, and just things are out of your hands, and it's just a horrible feeling. So any of the viewers out there who have felt the same way, we definitely feel your pain, and we know what you're going through. But from that, what did you learn from your failures?
I learned that I wanted to just have a different way I did business. I just didn't want to ever have the big risk, big overhead model that I had in real estate, and I really wanted to concentrate on my cash flow. And network marketing just fit the mode. So, by focusing in on network marketing and residual income, I've had slower months than others in network marketing, but it still produced infinitely more than slower months in real estate where I didn't make anything. And so I just encourage anybody that, whether it's network marketing or whether it's something else, focus on that residual income, because that is what creates freedom. This about almost 90 days ago now, I got married, and we went honeymooning in Fiji, and through the power of residual income, by the time when I got back from being in Fiji for 10 days and not having a cell phone, I'd actually made more residual income than the trip cost.
Wow.
So that's pretty darn cool, because that's about 4 to 5 times more expensive than any trip I've ever had, and that's the power of residual. So if you're not working for residuals, and if you're not building your residuals, you are a slave to what you're doing. And I just didn't want to be a slave again.
Hey, congratulations on your new marriage.
Thank you, man.
Hey, so I know that you're the #1 income earner in the Numis Network, and they have a pretty unique product. What made you choose the Numis Network after having all those other failures with the other different type of MLM companies?
Well, you know, part of what attracted me to it was that it was a different product, but that's actually not what made my decision. That's not what made me stick. It's not what actually made me join. I wanted something that was different from anything I'd ever done. You know, I'd done juice, shakes, bars, cleaning products, travel twice, legal services. I'd done all these different things, you know, and I'm not even naming all of them. And I did like the fact that this was different. So what attracted me at first, but not, you know, isn't what made me join, is the fact that we have a product that no one's embarrassed of, no one has too much of, you wouldn't mind a garage full of it, and it's something that if you're going to be in network marketing, you have overhead, why not have an asset as an overhead? You know, like there are guys that have been in network marketing for 2 years, like, you know, working their business straight for 2 years, just like me. However, I've amassed tens of thousands of dollars in assets just by being a member. And so that's a little different than most. What actually made me choose Numis Network was the leadership and the vision. You know, here was my chance to finally get in early, you know, which we're only a 2-year-old company with 30,000 reps. So I got a chance to get in early with some very visionary guys. And that's what got me the most excited, is the leadership of this company. And now with the training that we've developed and the leadership, you know, I'm just so happy with my decision. I've had many offers from some of the you know, other companies of downlines or checks or this or that, and you know, I just haven't flinched a bit. Been very focused on Numis for 2.5 years now.
Right. I've heard a lot of different pitches, and I've heard a lot of different opportunities, but I've never heard that you have overhead anyway, and it might as well be accumulating you some assets. That is super unique.
I mean, it's true. If you're going to build a business, you know, you're going to have, whether it's network marketing or not. You know, in my franchise model, you know, I paid out $1,800 a month just to use the name. Okay, you know, I can't recoup that. I don't have it at the end of the year. You know, I write off some of it, right? But you know, this is something that, you know, you're going to have overhead in network marketing, period. And it's either going to be a service that you used or didn't use, and it goes away whether you did either. You know, whether you use it or not, it goes away. If it's a consumable, well, typically, you know, we all know, let's be honest, we're typically having to order more than we consume each month, and it stacks up, it expires, you throw it away. Well, mine, 200 years from now, will still be on this earth because no one throws away money. Our product is money.
Right. What have you found your retention rate to be with such a unique opportunity?
Well, it's funny you actually asked this, because I was just on the phone with one of the founders, and I mean, this was 2 hours ago, or else I wouldn't have as you know, specific as an answer to you. Right. The average retention in any network marketing company is 87 days. The average retention of a Numis Network member since our inception. Now, keep in mind, this isn't even calculating who's still on board, so this would actually increase. But the average length of time of retention is over 6 months with Numis. That's double the industry average. Yeah. Now, obviously, you don't want it to be 6 months, so that doesn't take into effect who's been on autoship the entire time. But it's already, without calculating that, double the industry average. Why is that? Well, I think it's for a couple of reasons. Number one, gold and silver is hot. Number two, it's small. Okay, and that may sound weird, but it's small. It doesn't stack up in your garage reminding you of non-success. You know, if you have box after box after box sitting in the garage, your wife or spouse, you know, passes it and is like, you know, here we go again. And so that's something. And it's like a collection. Each month you're getting something new. You know, last month we got the beautiful Canadian maple leaf, and you know, I wasn't into coins before Numis, but it's pretty neat that I can share it with my kids and teach them about this different product. You know, that's neat. So, you know, while I have overhead anyway, hey, I'm glad that it's, you know, that's something that's our product.
Yeah, that's interesting. It's really, I don't want to get amazed too easy, but I'm amazed. That is interesting. It's really it's a different aspect of network marketing that I really never experienced. So let's go on from here. leadership. You're a great leader. You train and you do a lot with different people. From having exposure to so many different individuals and being around and training so long, what would you feel the number one thing is that network marketers need to address, to focus on, and to work on?
I would say two things. Number one, time management. That's the biggest thing. You know, there's a lot of network marketers out there working their network marketing business, at least they think they are, 60, 70 hours a week, but they're actually not doing very many profit-producing activities. And, you know, 3 months, 4 months go by and they haven't made any money, they quit. Well, that's because they're not managing their time correctly. You can build this business part-time, you know, full-time, big-time, whatever you want to do, but not without managing your time appropriately, which leads me into number two. Number two is learn how to connect with people, learn how to prospect. You know, when I launched my sponsoring product back in October, I think, I launched that, and you know, we've sold over 500 copies of that, and that really teaches you how to connect with people. You will never, ever, 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 ever become a huge success in network marketing without the ability to connect with people. And it is not about pitching them. It is not, you know, most network marketers, they operate like, you know, if I owned a grocery store and I stationed someone in the front and every person that walked through the door said, hey, would you like a Snickers bar? Well, that's just stupid because you don't know if they want a Snickers bar or not. But if they, you know, so network marketing is about finding who is actually looking, who is interested, why are they interested, you know, are they open or not? And so, you know, teaching those kind of principles of how to communicate with other human beings, that's this business. This business is about personal development, and it's about connecting with people. And it's not about pushing buttons. It's not about technology. It's not about traffic. It's not about any of that stuff. It's about connecting with people.
Right. So you said that the number one thing would be not doing enough profit-producing activities.
Sure.
What would you consider profit-producing activities?
Well, you know, everyone nowadays, because it's nice and comfy and they can sit on the sofa while they do it, everyone does passive marketing. Passive marketing is your blogging, your videos, your articles, your status updates, your different things. That's real easy. You can sit from your couch and watch Dances with the Stars while you do that.
Right.
All right. Very few, and the ones that are profitable, at least quickly, do active prospecting. Active prospecting means connecting with another individual one-on-one and talking to them to see if they're open about a business, talking to them to see if they're open about your product. And that's active prospecting. Most people, if they really evaluate their days, especially in this day and age of the internet, which, you know, hey, I'm an internet marketer, but I also manage my time appropriately. You can do both. You know, last year we got over 14 million hits to my blog, so I do internet marketing. I'm not bashing that. But I also prospected a whole lot of people, brought over 200 people into my organization at a $500 level or higher, and so I managed my time. And so profit producing is connecting with human beings. That could be online, it could be offline, a lot of it over the phone, but it's not shooting an email, it's not a Facebook message, it's not, you know, hoping that someone sees your blog. That's all passive. It's connecting.
Right. So you said active prospecting. Now, in order to be an active prospector, you have to have leads. I'm not going to talk about the warm market because, you know, that's a little bit of a different subject. So how do you go from being a new network marketer to being able to have active prospecting in your everyday business? You have to learn how to generate leads. What would your suggestion be for a person to start generating that lead to have sit-downs with people?
Sure. And again, it doesn't have to be offline. You know, it can certainly. I mean, I've built the majority of my business over the phone, so you can do that. You know, there's a recent survey done that said 90% of full-time workers in the United States are unfulfilled and dissatisfied with their job. Yet we struggle for leads.
Right.
You see, that makes no sense.
Mm-hmm.
What it means is that we're looking for some magical way to get leads instead of just naturally doing it like a human being would. And so how you get leads, well, there's 700 million people on Facebook. You know, I look at my beautiful wife, you know, she's you know, younger than I am, and she's recruited over 50 people from Facebook that she didn't know without spending a dime on PPC. How'd she do that? How is that so magical? What magical phrase did she use? No, she didn't do any of that. She connected with them, talked to them, found out they were open, sent them a video, followed up with them. That's the magic. That's the secret. And so you can prospect anywhere. You know, you could look at meetups in your area. You could go out there, network with people. You could just use Facebook. You know, any one of those strategies would net you a minimum, if you do them every day, would net you a minimum of 8 to 10 recruits per month. And if you do 8 to 10 recruits per month minimum, you'll build an empire. You know, it's the you know, and you can always tell how aggressive and hungry you are by the number of people you've had watch a presentation in the last month. When I ask that question, when I ask people that call me for training or pay me for coaching, I ask them, how many people did you have watch your company presentation last month? And I typically get less than 20. Okay, people will say, well, I had about 20. Well, that's less than one a day. That means that you're not even working at part-time. Part-time should be having 2 to 5 people per day watch your presentation. That's part-time. Right. Full-time, you should be having a whole lot more. My first 6 months in the business, every single day I had a minimum of 20 people take a look at my presentation, take a look at my opportunity, and a lot of them said no. Some days all 20 said no, right? But it's about how many people are watching your presentation.
So that's interesting. That will 20 presentations a month, that would definitely be part-time. So you're saying to focus on one lead generation channel and to really get into it and drive business to your company presentation.
Sort of. I'm saying manage your time appropriately, and let me explain what I mean. You know, I get up very early in the morning. You know, yesterday was what is today? Tuesday. Yesterday was 4 a.m. Today was 4:30 a.m. When do I blog? Do I do it during profit-producing time? You know, like now? No, I don't. I do it in the morning. That's me. Now, if you're a night owl, you do it at night. You do those non-profit producing things, the passive marketing things, at times where you can't connect with people. Am I going to call people at 4 a.m.? No, they'll hang up on me. They'll get mad. And so, you know, those are the times that I create my videos, that I create my articles, that I do, you know, any kind of blogging, that kind of passive stuff. And so, you know, it doesn't mean that I consider, if someone happens to opt into my blog and go look at a video, I'm not even considering that, okay? That's gravy. You know, now, since I've been doing that for quite a while, does that happen? It happens every day, but I'm not counting that. I'm counting the people that I personally connect with over the phone and get them to go watch it, because you got a 90% better chance that they will watch it than someone that just gets an email.
Okay.
Okay. It's very specific. It's very specific what I'm suggesting. You know, and it's just, you know, it's just the way it is. If I look at my numbers, you know, like if my company's running a contest, well, I'm the only person in the company that's won every single vacation they've ever put out. And why is that? Because I bump it way up. You know, you'll see all of a sudden how many people I've had view the presentation, you know, goes up times 10, and I win the top of the contest. And that's just by managing my time and know what actually produces profits.
Right. Okay, that's interesting. So, what would be your number one lead source? It sounds like it's the phone.
Well, you know, when you say lead source, that makes me think of someone opting in or something like that. As far as prospect source, it's without a doubt the phone. You know, probably 5% of the people that I've signed up into my organization has had some phone contact. Now, at this point, you know, last month I got 1.8 million hits to my blog, and this month a little bit under 1.7, and you know, so I get a lot of opt-ins. I get a lot of leads that I will pick up the phone and call. You know, either I'm calling them, my wife's calling them, or if I'm tied up, like this weekend I did a mastermind event. You know, I farmed those out to my different leaders around the country. You know, that's what I do. And so, you know, I would say right now my number one source of passive leads is my blog, but that sure didn't happen at first. It took me a while to get there.
I'm smiling right now. Did you just say you get 2 million visits a month?
Yeah, last month in December, you know, during typically not, you know, that active, I think at least, 1.8 million hits. This month, and the special thing, I actually like this month even better, even though the number's a little bit lower, because 10 of the days of this month I was on vacation. You know, I was up in Vail with my family, and then I had won a cruise, a 6 or 5 day cruise, and so 10 of the days of this month out of 31, I didn't blog. And so to have 1.7 million hits this month and not have blogged for 10 days, that's pretty good. So I actually see that as better as December, and maybe, maybe we're starting to pick up some traction here.
Okay, we got to talk about this for a while. You won the top 50 blogs contest
Yep.
this last year, 2011.
Yes.
You could say that you have an extremely successful MLM blog, 2 million visitors a month, well 1.8. We'll give you the extra 200K. Okay, how did you do it? Take me from a perspective of a brand new network marketer coming online, just launching their blog.
Well, I actually have, I have a blogging course, but I actually have a free thing too. I have a, it's like I forget what I actually called it. It's like 4 steps to get more traffic on your blog, and I did like a day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, which you can search and find for free. There's a lot of things that are common sense. What would be common sense? Consistency. If you blog every day or at least 5 times a week, you're going to get way more business than most people, because most people are lazy. They'll do it for 14 days straight and then they'll take a month off. That's what most people do. And so, I've consistently blogged for, a year and a half, for anywhere from 4 to 7 times a week, every week. In my course, I actually talk about how to create content, whether you have imagination or not. But that's the common sense stuff, being consistent. What's not common sense is results, okay? Who wants to read a blog from someone who has not made $1 in this industry versus someone that has pulled down $40 to $50 to $80,000 a month? Well, you're going to attract a lot more people if you have some results in your life. How do you get results? Time management. And so I didn't spend all day studying WordPress plugins. I called people. I picked up the phone. I called my leads. I connected and prospected on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. I've done all that. And so my number 1 thing is get results. And number 2, tell people about it. Share it with people and do it while providing value for the industry. Marketing is a very simple, it's a very simple blueprint. It is understand and learn everything about your target market and then solve their problems. That's it. That's all you have to do in any kind of marketing. If I was marketing to dog owners, I would know all of their problems and I would know how to market to them. Doesn't matter. So that's where people miss. With network marketing, because of the low barrier of entry, you can sign up anybody in the world. And that's the problem, actually, because then you don't have a specific. Well, I have a very specific focus. I am working to provide value to people that get network marketing, like network marketing, but maybe haven't had the level of success that they want. Right. That's fairly specific versus me just try to market to anybody in the world. I don't try to convince people of network marketing. If they don't like network marketing, they leave my blog. They don't stick around because it's all I talk about. Very, very specific.
Right. What would you say your more popular posts would be? Posts that were specifically speaking about network marketing topics, or the posts that are about your results and how you're doing in your business?
I don't really do posts that are just about results. Very rarely. I would say maybe 1%, maybe 2%. But what I will do is, I may solve a problem. I may talk about how to talk to your warm market or how to increase traffic to your blog. And within that article, I may mention that, I was able to do this, that I was able to recruit this, that I got this amount of traffic, this amount of leads, et cetera, et cetera. And so it's the sprinkling in of that helps. What I see is a lot of people come to the internet out of weakness. They hope that, I don't want to talk to anybody on the phone, so let me hide behind this keyboard. The problem with that is it takes infinitely longer to get results without picking up the phone. And if you don't get results, then you've got a little bit of an uphill battle. Now, you can still get traffic. You can still be a marketer without results. I teach that because here's the real deal is most people don't have results. So if you know more than them, they'll still listen to your stuff. But if you have results, that's when you'll get into the stratosphere. That's when you'll get into the upper echelon and win contests and be asked to speak on stages and be asked on interviews like this.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense because most of the people that are talking about attraction marketing and blogging about it have not quite reached success yet. So
Right.
I was watching a little video interview, well, just a little quick snippet that you did with Rob Ford the other day, and it was speaking about having a daily routine and consistency. What has that done for your business?
It's made my business. My daily routine has made my business. Most people, they work very, very hard. They spend many, many hours, but they have no set routine. They have no, I need to talk to X number of people per day, or I need to, I need to meditate for 15 minutes. I need to listen to self-help for 30 minutes. They have no set routine. They just kind of wake up and they just do whatever they can do, and that's not enough. I'm here to tell you that you have to manage your time, and your need for income should dictate that time. If you are, like when I started, I was in foreclosure, right? I had, seven of my real estate properties were in foreclosure, and my personal home was in foreclosure, okay? So life was not great. It was not fantastic. It wasn't roses. And so I had a very immediate need for income. So 75% of my available time was spent on the phone, was spent prospecting, was spent, connecting with other human beings. 25% was spent studying, creating content, or anything like that. I didn't create any content during my first, few months because I didn't really understand it or get it. Then I kind of learned it, through self-study. Some people, all they do is study all day long. Other people, all they do is play on Facebook all day long and they don't do any study. Well, that's not a formula either. You have to have your daily routine, and it's actually funny you're mentioning this because tomorrow night I'm being featured on MLSP as they're doing their webinar, and I'm actually going to cover setting a daily routine that will greatly help some people.
Right, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a whole bunch of different personality types out there, and even within those personality types, most people are just they're not system driven. And it's hard for them to be able to have that daily routine of things to do. Have you found that are there any tools that helped you with this, or help people that that are just everywhere?
What I found is that if you know why you're doing this business, it's a real simple equation. Either what hurts most? Either the pain of doing the steps that will make you successful, or what you're missing out by not being successful. And so for me, I was in corporate America, and I was tired of growing up with pictures of my kids. Okay? I wanted to grow up with the real thing. I wanted to be there with them. So the pain of not seeing my children hardly at all during the week, because I would leave before they were awake and come home after they were asleep. That pain drove me to do some things that I didn't want to do. I didn't want to pick up the phone. I didn't want to, ruffle the bushes to, try to find real estate deals and things like that. But the pain of doing those actions was greater than what I was missing out by being with my kids, so I did it. Most people, they're not making any kind of logical evaluation, and they think that, well, I just won't work it today, and then I'll just be the same, status quo. Status quo doesn't exist. You're either growing or dying. And so every day that you spend not building something, not going towards your dreams, you're actually moving away from your dreams. Right. And what happens is these little emergencies will sneak up on you. They'll sneak up on you. If you haven't been prepared and you haven't been building your business, then they're going to sneak up on you. They're going to wipe you out. Now, if you've been building your business, they're still going to sneak up on you, but you'll be more prepared. You'll have a better pillow. You'll have more things in place, and you'll be able to adapt a whole lot easier than the person that has to spend their last $200 on the failed brakes in their car. That's the problem. Right. And so if you don't have a very clear reason why you're doing this business, and you don't comprehend that if you don't do the steps necessary, you will lose that and lose a whole lot more, then you probably won't have success. And that's something that it's a hard reality, but it is reality.
Right. I was looking at your website at rayhigdon.com, and I was looking at a blog post, and it was speaking about collaboration and the difference between a successful team member and a non-successful team member. Have you seen an overall pattern of of the people that are successful versus not?
Oh yeah, the non-successful person. Now, sometimes this may be the case, okay, but the non-successful person will typically complain about their upline, won't reach out to their upline, but will just say, "You never called me." All right? So now they have an excuse that they can share with the other mediocre people, and they pat them on the back and say it's okay. Well, this is about either, you're going to have excuses or you're going to have results. It's your choice. And so, what would have happened if my sponsor quit? I would have built the business anyway. I would have built an empire, right? And so that's just my attitude. And so what I see successful people do is they will reach out to their upline and say, "You know what? I've been thinking about this. Let's collaborate." Or, "Hey, can you help me with a three-way?" Or, "Hey, can you do this?" And a good upline will respond to that. I'm not saying there's not bad uplines, but there's a whole lot more excuse-driven downlines than there are bad uplines. And I'm not saying that just for my company's sake. I'm saying it in every company. I think there's a whole lot more uplines out there that, quite frankly, I cannot. And I tell people, I'm like, look, I can't be a cheerleader to every person in my team. There's just not enough hours in the day for me to call every person in my team, but I most certainly can handle incoming calls if they have questions or if they need advice or direction or they need a three-way call. I service my team in that manner, and most uplines really would. But, most downlines, they're not really looking for success. They're looking for an excuse to be right, which will get them non-success.
Right. That's very interesting. If you could give, like, in general, one tip to network marketers on your team and just in general network marketers, what would it be?
One tip would be manage your routine. Have a percentage of your day where you are doing self-study. Have a percentage of your day where you are prospecting. Have a percentage of your day if you are online, which you don't have to be. Okay, you don't have to be an internet marketer. Some of my best duplication comes from my offline guys that just do hotel meetings. They're awesome. I love getting them in. Right? And so just manage your time appropriately. Make sure that you check with your upline to see if you're doing the proper producing activities. And I just want you, just start to think like a leader. What would you want your people to do? Well, the answer is you would want them to prospect because that's where all the money is. So if you know that, how about you do it too? Because the team, you can just count on it. The team is going to do about 50% of what you do. So if you're not doing any profit producing activities at all, well, 50% of that is still nothing. And so, you need to be producing results so that you inspire your downline and do the things that are necessary for success.
Right. Now, I know you're a busy guy. I don't want to take up too much of your time. I could sit here all day and talk to you about network marketing. I love it.
Cool.
I appreciate you coming on my show today, okay?
Absolutely, man. Great job. Honored to be on here.
All right. You have a good one.
You too, man.
Bye.
Take care.
Thanks for tuning in to the MLM Success Coaches Show, where our motto is nobody wants a boss, everybody wants a coach. Until next time, have a great day.